All right, you know what time it is. Pause your video, try this multiple choice question. Okay, this problem gives us a list, a list of three things that describes the job or the function of a cell structure. All right, so we've done no checks on this. What part of the cell, has the job to remove things? All right, allow waste to exit. All right, what part of the cell has a job to allow things into the cell? All right, water into the cell, out of the cell. Well, the structure that allows things in and out of the cell is your cell membrane, or the plasma membrane. So answer C. All right, let's take a closer look at what some of these things are referring to. All right, waste can be a lot of things, but let's just say like carbon dioxide is waste. It needs to leave the cell. All right, chemicals required for cell rest, well, oxygen and glucose. Let's take a look at how they enter the cell. All right, and the water needs to go in or out depending on osmosis. So let's take a look at all that. All right. So water is polar. So a lot of it does get repelled by the phospholipid tails. Okay, but it is small enough for some of it to cross directly through the phospholipids. All right, but that's not something you want to memorize. That's not the key point. Okay, but water will go through as long as there's a concentration gradient. Water can go in and out of the cell through facilitated diffusion. All right, gases. Oxygen, that's oxygen. If you have more outside the cell, it's going to go in the cell. Right? Carbon dioxide, that's this other one here. If you have more of it inside the cell, building up, it's going to leave the cell right through the membrane, the phospholipids. Clear some of this up. All right, glucose, polar. All right, it's just going to repel, but we need that for cell rest. So as long as you have more glucose molecules outside the cell, and you will because you're eating food when you're hungry, that thing's going to go in the cell, get used for cell rest. All right, ions go in and out, protein pumps. All right, so let's take a look at some of these incorrect answers. Lysosomes. If you haven't already, write this down. LYS means breakdown. So lysosomes are these little organelles that break down waste in the cell. They don't transport anything. All right, mitochondria don't transport. They make ATP. All right, mitochondria make ATP. Now the ER does transport things. Right, usually proteins. They package them in the vesicles, but I wouldn't call them waste. Like, why go through all that trouble making proteins if it's just waste? And it's not waste. All right, check out the stats. Yeah, that's not good. It wasn't a very difficult question. Level 2 question. Roughly a little more than half. All right, and that's all you need to do is pass anyway. You'll get a 50 on your test. Okay.